Hello.
Hey.
Yes.
I don't know why it wasn't going through, but I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to call you instead.
Okay.
Assuming that doesn't mess something up. So.
Oh, you know what? Let me double check and make sure the recorder's going.
Yeah.
Because that's a good point. I never thought about that. Yeah, it's rolling.
Yeah.
It's rolling.
Okay, that's why I always had you call in, because I didn't know.
Yeah, it's rolling. It's good.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. Alright. Great.
Yeah.
Got notes.
Got my notes. One shall stand and one shall fall.
Oh, Jesus.
Transform and roll out. Etc.
That all of those references are lost on me, by the way.
But why? But it's Transformers. That's all it is.
Don't know anything about Transformers, and I don't particularly care about Transformers.
What has Transformers done to you? How have they wronged you?
It doesn't wrong me. I'm indifferent about it. I just don't,
Yeah.
It's not like it's something I hate. It's not something I ever care about. Same with like, God, what's it called? He-Man.
Okay. I mean, I can see He-Man.
Masters of the Universe or whatever.
Masters of the Universe is just a dude in a leotard with a magic castle and a sword. I mean, that's understandable.
Well, I didn't really care. I'm trying to think of like what robot stuff do I even care about?
What about Neon Genesis Evangelion?
What is that? What are you talking about?
It's a pseudo anime type thing that's making a return to Netflix. That might be part of why you're not really into robots, because you don't really like anime that much, and that's a big part of anime, of course.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah. So
I like Terminator.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. I don't care.
Okay.
It's not my thing.
Voltron.
I get why people like it. No.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I just don't care.
No. I wouldn't imagine you like Power Rangers. That doesn't seem like that's your type of thing.
I did like Power Rangers when I was a kid.
Holy shit. You liked Power Rangers. That's surprising.
Yeah, when I was a kid. Okay. Everyone liked Power Rangers when I was a kid. Although, to be fair, I think I only liked the Ooze movie.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the one I remember watching the most.
That's more on brand because the TV show was super cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
The movie knew it was cheesy, so it kind of leaned into that with Ivan Ooze.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already fighting an uphill battle because one of the things I loved about Power Rangers is once I figured out that it was basically an American framing sequence around a Japanese show that had been on the air forever.
Right.
Yeah, that fascinated me, and I wanted to just watch it to point out the differences.
I feel like there are a lot of those things that other people really enjoyed. Yeah. And I'm happy they enjoy it, but I've never been that into it. Like, I like Ninja Turtles, for example. Okay. I liked some of those movies and stuff, but I wasn't as into it as everyone else was.
Shout out to Turtles.
I don't know. Like, there's plenty of things like that people are super passionate about, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's not so the thing. What was it? We started with Voltron Transformers. Yeah. It's not that I hate it. I just don't have the passion for it. So I don't watch it. I saw the first movie.
Okay.
The recent ones, obviously. And then I saw half of that second one that was really long, and I couldn't. Not even half. Like a half hour of it.
Okay. I think you would enjoy Bumblebee. Just because of the...
I do want to see Bumblebee, yeah.
I think, I've seen it, and I think for even a non-fan, I think you'll dig it.
Yeah, someone was telling me about it, that it was good and enjoyable. I loved Bumblebee in the new Transformer movie. So, and I like the actress in that, so I think I'd probably like it.
Okay. Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked her, so I think I'd probably like Bumblebee.
Yeah, I mean it's an 80s movie. Like Bumblebee is absolutely an 80s movie, and Bumblebee is playing the role of the alien that's being hidden from the parents, and he's their best friend. That sort of thing.
Because it's a prequel, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a prequel / soft reboot. So everything that's happened in the films that came before it don't really matter. Even down to the way that they redesigned the robots to more reflect their 80s versions, the ones that you see in the cartoons. So that's kind of cool.
I didn't realize it was kind of a reboot too. I thought it was just a straight up prequel.
In the best way, because my problem with the Bay films is because they're well, besides, you know, just Bay being Michael Bay.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Oh god.
But I mean, just like the specifically speaking as a Transformers fan, the design of the robots and how they were just like piles of shrapnel that would somehow turn into something that looked like a jet sometimes. Like, it just didn't work. Like, they looked like Doritos, basically. They were just like triangle shaped things because they had to turn into like, you know, stealth bombers and all that stuff. So it was just kind of like off. And their faces all just looked really angry all the time. I'm like, that's not my Optimus, you know?
You know what amazes me is that the Me Too movement hasn't taken Michael Bay down yet.
Yeah, that whole thing with him and Megan, what was her name?
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox, yeah.
Do you know the story of her audition?
Oh, yeah. And just the way that she was treated on set. And what's messed up is I remember reading articles in like Maxim and stuff like that. They would interview her. And, you know, it was kind of like this thing where they had a falling out. Yeah. And she spoke out about it. And they had a falling out. And so they recast her role in the movies going forward. But they made up or something after that. So
I think that she didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
He was too powerful.
But that's what I was getting at.
She kind of had to kiss the ring.
And that sucks because it's just Michael Bay. I mean, of all people.
He made her wash his car.
Yeah.
And recorded it.
Right.
For her audition.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself, why are you still working?
So that's all
you're
gross.
Fucking disgusting.
That's all gross stuff, and that's verified gross, and he's gross. But I mean, I just want to fucking enjoy robots turning into fucking cars, man. Like that's it. And they even took that away from me. And then I sound like an old man. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lex and Matt's Excellent Adventure. I'm Matt Peters.
I'm Lex Lutz, and I coughed at an inopportune time. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So we, you know, I grew up loving Transformers and everything like that, just because it was the perfect age. It hit me at the right age. It hit me at the right time because I hadn't seen anything like it before. There was a competing.
It was before my time.
Yeah. So when you were little, I think all that was there was like Beast Wars, and Beast Wars was like a super deep cut version of Transformers because you had to know the basic lore of the 80s movies, or rather the 80s cartoon and the movie and all that stuff. And then you had to find Beast Wars in syndication. It was a CG Transformers show where they would like turn into animals instead of cars and stuff like that.
Like Animorphs?
Except not. I do.
No.
Okay. I've seen. One of my favorite memes from way back was the one where Snoop Dogg was morphing from a dog into Snoop. Basically.
I don't remember a single fucking thing about those books, but I remember the covers.
Okay,
no,
I was gonna say.
remember the covers. No, what I'm saying is I don't remember the content. I know I read a few.
Yeah. But
I don't remember the content. I remember the covers.
I think that caught me at the tail end of my my Scholastic book fair tenure.
Remember the Scholastic Book Fair? You know, you go to a bookstore now, and it's the Scholastic Book Fair, but it's not.
Right.
It's never the same.
Because everybody's kind of jerky and keeps to themselves. With the Scholastic Book Fair, you could be excited about books, and people wouldn't look at you weird. Well, usually.
And then it was like, do you have the money to get the books? And like,
So, okay, I remember having like the whole like little catalog, like the 4-page paper catalog, and you would just check off all the ones you wanted, and then you take it home, and your parents are like, oh no, you can't get all those books, you're not gonna read them anyway. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the Scholastic Book Fair, really thinking about it just now. That we brought it up again for the first time as an adult. I'm like, that's a really fucked up premise. They just brought their commerce into our public school systems and sold us the things that we should be able to get from the library.
Right. But you know what?
That
it was cool.
I know it is, but man, that's messed up.
It's kind of messed up, yeah, but it's also fucking cool to get kids that excited about books, period. Like, I don't know.
I agree. I'm just like, oh my God. Like thinking about it now, I'm like, oh shit. Were they just like grifters?
This is something, and it's kind of like a little inside baseball. So if we're giving something away, people wonder, why is it free? But if we make people do something to get said item, it's like, oh, it must actually be, highly coveted if they're making us jump through all these hoops to get it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's just, anyway, I love those too. I remember the exact same thing. The catalog, going through it, being like, I'm going to get this, and then not getting all of that.
Right.
But I bought Captain Underpants. I remember that.
Hell yeah, Captain Underpants. My brother was big into Captain Underpants, man.
Yeah.
Oh
we're
my
like this,
God.
I think we're the same age, right?
Yeah, actually you are.
Might be a little bit older. I don't know.
I think he's like maybe a year or two older than you.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, it's the same wheelhouse. Captain Underpants was big.
Based on like just references that he gets and movies that he likes and stuff from what I've talked to you and briefly to him about, it seems like we're about the same age.
Yeah. So that Diary of a Wimpy Kid, all that stuff, that's, yeah.
I don't think that was our generation.
Really?
I think that was later.
Okay.
I think that was like the early 2000s or late 2000s, right?
You kids and your Pokemans and your, I don't know.
Now I'm going to look it up. Anyway, go ahead.
Your Nintendos.
Plug the website, friend.
Yes, lexandmattpod.com. You come to the website, you get to see all of our social medias, everything you could possibly want. We'll have news there. We'll have some stuff there about contests that you can enter, links to our Patreon, stuff like that. It's great. Come check it out.
Yep. Yeah. Go check out our Patreon. Please contribute to the show so we can keep it going. Diary of a Wimpy Kid came out. The abridged hardcover was first released April 1st, 2007.
The balls of them releasing a hardcover book for kids like that too.
Yeah, and I guess that it first appeared in Fun Brain in 2004, whatever that is. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I'm guessing that was a magazine.
Yeah.
Oh, a browser game website. Okay.
Sure.
So it started on the web, the interwebs, and then became a book in 2007. So 2007, that's when I was going into high school.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
So it's just past my time. Anyway.
Understood.
So yeah.
Cool.
That's that.
So what's been going on with you, buddy?
Oh, nothing much.
Yeah.
I've got my school's orientation this week, registering for classes. That's fun. Exciting.
Big things.
Yeah. I mean, I have my schedule. Like, it's so crazy that they're like, you have to come, because I'm starting at a university, not a community college. So they're like, you have to come do orientation. And I looked at the orientation, and it's like, it's the campaign. A part of it is, it ends with us, or it stops with us, or whatever. That whole campaign, which is the Joe Biden, like, don't rape people campaign, basically.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Like that whole thing that he started at the tail end. And I'm like, well, this is going to be weird now. Yeah. But okay. Because he got called out for inappropriately touching. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's fucked up too, because it feels like it's one of those situations where his heart was in the right place.
Yeah, I don't view him as like a rapist or any, like, I don't view him that way. I think that you can learn from, he just needs to learn more boundaries, more personal space.
That's just it. He needs to learn to listen and accept the fact that everybody doesn't like the same level of affection that he does.
100%. Do not, like, the things, the like pictures of him touching people or whatever, I understand are completely normal. Don't fucking touch me like that.
No.
Unless you have permission.
Exactly.
Like, no.
Like, it's always kind of weird because, over the past several years, over the past 8 or 10 years, basically, since we've known Joe Biden as intimately as we have, the whole thing of the creepy uncle has kind of run the course of being, all right, that's a creepy uncle, to, it's punchline to these jokes on SNL, to, creepy uncles are out. Can't do the creepy uncle thing. It's just not cool. Yeah. I mean, it's never been cool, but it's like, certain things, and we've discussed this briefly before about how, like, the casting couch has always been a punchline to a running gag, And now
did you see the Toy Story thing about that?
No.
So
what
at the
happened?
end of Toy Story 2, there's a like bonus scene, and it's a casting couch joke. And Disney
Really?
has pulled it from all of like the movie.
Holy shit.
Like streaming and everything like that.
Wow.
It's not going to be on there. And I'm sure future home releases in any capacity, it won't be on there.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's going to probably raise the value on
you
the
don't
secondary
need,
market.
People were complaining. I'm like, you don't need a fucking casting couch joke in a Toy Story movie. And it's in the credits. It's
it
not
was
even
an outtake, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Lassiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the whole Joe Biden thing, it was good that it was pointed out. I don't think it would have been half as big of a deal, or even necessarily pointed out if he didn't want to be president.
Yeah.
But, you know, he wants to be president, so
we gotta hold these individuals to higher standards.
Well,
and
everyone needs to be held to standards.
Yeah.
And that's evident that it's not happening. But
nope. Because if we start talking about how what's going on with you know who lately, that's going to be the whole episode.
Yeah, I prefer not to.
No,
Let's talk about the Emmys.
We're going to talk about something exciting and positive for a lot of people. So yes, the
Emmy nominations.
Emmy nominations came out today. So
I completely forgot that this was happening. I was very excited when it started popping up in my feed.
This is your beat, man. This is your, you know, as senior entertainment editor of Mighty Inc. Comics, this is your beat.
Yes.
That's still a thing. That's still your title.
Is that still my title?
That's still your title. So, yeah.
So, yeah, I have thoughts. I have thoughts on all of it.
All right. I'm ready. Because I glanced over the nominees, and there is some
okay, what are your thoughts?
Interesting. Like, okay. A lot of people are upset. I mean, just right off the bat, I'll point out. I know a lot of people are upset, or at least feigning upset, because Game of Thrones got so many nominations. But I want to point out, like, this show has been like top tier entertainment for years. You know, it's been a mainstay. You know, for the Emmys. And a lot of
also they submitted before the show was done.
Yeah. Not only that, but I mean, you can't blame your disappointment of the story on the actors and actresses. They did their jobs. They did a great job. I mean, Emilia Clarke, amazing job.
I would argue you can't even disqualify Game of Thrones overall from best drama.
Yeah.
Because these two guys who created the show decided to make it really fast at the end and be done with it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, just blame those two guys. Don't blame anyone else involved in this show. Like, that's my philosophy with it right now. They fucked it up. And the mistakes that were there were on them. That's
true.
It,
that's
to
true.
Me. That's why they were going to go to Comic-Con, and then those two were like, nope, we're not going to Comic-Con. It's like, yeah, because you're going to get booed the fuck out of there.
I mean, I really do hope that the fans of the show share that mindset as to not blame the actors, not blame any of the folks that helped to produce the show.
No, I think that's the case, and it's evident, especially from like the Reddit raising money for charities for Emilia Clarke and Kit Harington, and or not for them, for charities that they are a part of or passionate about.
Yeah.
I don't think that I remember after that initial documentary aired the week after, there were a lot of people going, it's a damn shame that this much love and effort was put in behind the scenes, but not on the scripts, that kind of thing. So it seemed to be, and that even the Lindsay Ellis video that I talked about a few weeks back, that was not about the acting. It was not about the people running the show behind the scenes. It was about the choices that these writers made and how they also were kind of forced to because they didn't have the rest of the books. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah, they gave themselves a limited amount of time to deal with all these huge sweeping story arcs, and
Which
you
was
can't.
stupid. It should have been like 3 more seasons.
Yeah.
That the content in that. Are you fucking kidding me?
But we've addressed this. But my thing is, like, you can't tell me, even based on the few episodes that we saw, you can't look at Gwendolyn Christie, you can't look at Maisie Williams, Sophie Turner, and tell me that they didn't put their all into what they were given. I mean, they were amazing this season.
No, anyone who does that as a child, who says that, is an angry child, and I have no time for you.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I mean, we're allowed to disagree with who deserves to win these awards, of course, but
that's
say that they shouldn't
different
be,
discussion.
Yeah, to say they shouldn't be in the conversation, that's just short-sighted and petty. Just because you didn't like the ending, you know.
This is my conflict right now is the actress in a comedy series category.
Yeah.
Because it's specifically so Julia Louis-Dreyfus is nominated again, and if she wins lead actress in a comedy series, she will break the record for most wins by an actress.
Oh wow!
She is now tied with Cloris Leachman at eight statues.
That's amazing to think that Cloris Leachman holds that record.
So
she's got some stiff competition.
Yes. And I feel like she's the top contender, but here's the problem. This category, let's read it off. Christina Applegate in Dead to Me. Rachel Brosnahan, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, which we just said. Natasha Lyonne for Russian Doll.
Yeah. I really don't think...
Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
And here's the dark horse, friends. Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Okay.
For Fleabag.
Now that's on my list of stuff to watch. I've heard a lot of good things about Fleabag.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so good.
So, problem here. Christina Applegate, she's great on Dead to Me. I feel like that's still too new. I think that...
Yeah, I would vote for her in this category. But, what I'm saying is that it's a lot of great performances. Yeah. And I would say everyone else, even though I haven't seen Russian Doll, because we talked about this, I can't stand repetitive.
Yeah,
even though I know Groundhog Day is a great movie.
Yeah.
I've seen most of it. I love Bill Murray. I can't do it. I can't. It drives me nuts.
I understand. And Russian Doll's not going to change your mind because Russian Doll plays absolutely into that. And it takes it to another level. I love it, but here,
there's one episode of Dawson's Creek, which is one of my absolute favorite episodes because it's a culmination of like an entire series worth of writing. But anyone who knows Dawson's Creek will know that this episode, which is in season 3, where they repeat the story again and again from each perspective, but they keep repeating scenes and repeating the opening part.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it tests my patience because I both love it and I fucking hate it. Sorry. Anyway, continue.
Now, something similarly to how you feel about that, stories that use the same storytelling method as Rashomon, where it tells the same story different ways from different people that were there. Yes. That trope, that style, that gets on my nerves because it's been done so many times.
Well, yeah, and they're very similar.
And it
because
feels like
it is repeating, and it is.
Yeah, on
it can be interesting, but like, come on.
Yeah, but like on a sitcom, it feels like they're doing it to save money on that particular episode. You know,
I really think they think they're being creative.
Yeah. Like, oh, here's an idea. Why don't we do a Rashomon? Like, no.
Yeah.
No, we've seen that.
Yeah, that's what it's all based off of. I would probably, even though Julia Louis-Dreyfus, it would be between Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Phoebe Waller-Bridge for me. And that is with Catherine O'Hara. Like, she hasn't been nominated before. She is she's one of all of the Schitt's Creek nominations are first timers, if I'm not mistaken.
That's so great that they're finally getting recognition for this show. It's been it's been 4 seasons that they've been 5, but 4 they've been eligible for, or is 5 in there too?
They've aired 5 total. This is for season 5 that just aired
Okay.
And then they're filming 6, which will be the final right now.
Wow. But I mean, that's definitely deserved. But Russian Doll, like in the comedy series category, I don't really see it as a comedy per se. Haven't watched the whole thing.
Welcome to the Emmys and to the Golden Globes. This is the game that we play.
Yeah, I know there's some wiggle room in there sometimes, and they try to put series in certain categories that really don't fit, but they can't really fit anywhere else.
Well, it's nice that they have a comedy. Sorry, hit the mic. It's nice that they at least have a comedy category. Yeah. Because they don't do that with like the Oscars, and that sucks.
Yeah.
No, the Oscars doesn't acknowledge comedy.
That is weird.
Really.
Okay. So there's a lot of competition in lead actress. So that's going to be interesting to see how that boils down.
Michelle Williams needs to win for Fosse Verdon. Oh my God. If she doesn't win, I'm going to lose my shit.
What is that category? Lead actress in a drama or
limited series or movie?
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Fosse Verdon, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she was so good. Oh God, she just transforms. She's. I mean, I'm hard pressed to say she's not the best actress of her generation.
Yeah.
Which is, good people involved.
It's all praise right there. That's
I mean,
pretty
supporting actress. Unless it goes to Fiona Shaw in Killing Eve, which I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, it's going to be a Game of Thrones actress, supporting actress in a drama series, because they have 4 nominations.
Yeah, just by volume, they stand the biggest chance. Let me ask you this, though. What is competition program? Is that like just a contest? Is that like a reality show sort of deal that they're saying?
It's the reality show.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
Although those are all... I don't know. I don't know if they have any other reality show nominations. I don't usually pay attention to those two. I don't watch reality shows at all.
It's hard to really judge reality shows on what they are, because I mean, really, the editing team gets the most praise for that sort of thing. Because even if you have like a shit season, a shit cast, like you have to frame it to look interesting. So they should really get.
They're also scripting it and egging it on. Yeah. I didn't watch much of it, but I watched like. It was honestly too depressing how I'm sure realistic it was. There was a TV show, and I think it was called Unreal or something like that.
Okay.
It was originally on Lifetime, and I think it last season was on Hulu, and it's on Hulu now. And it was all about producers of a Bachelor type show.
Oh, okay.
And it was... Like, I mean, I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of it, and I was like, I have to take a shower. This is so gross. Like, this environment of them creating this and the horrible things that they do to get their show. I was like, oh God, I can't deal with this. And I stopped watching it.
That's almost as bad as they had a show at one point that was like a fake reality show. Like, it was like a fake Bachelor or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Like, that was like early 2000s, right?
Yeah, it's like Joe Everyman or something like that.
Oh, the millionaire one? Was it the millionaire one?
Joe Millionaire. Yeah,
where they faked him being a millionaire. Right. Oh, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah. It was like, oh man, Fox.
That was in the early days when there wasn't like really the internet and stuff. They could get away with way more.
Right. So that show got under my skin. And then the other one that really got on my nerves was Temptation Island. Because first of all, if you agree to go on a show where you're engaged or you're married and you go on a show specifically to prove that you can resist temptation while just unnaturally attractive people try to seduce you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're not
you're setting yourself up for failure right there.
I'm looking at these supporting actress in a drama series, and I'm trying to decide who within those 7 episodes of Game of Thrones, who should win. It shouldn't be Lena Headey, although I think she has the best chance because of the overall show.
Yeah.
But in the last season, she barely did anything because writing. Once again, it's all writing. It's not her. She's amazing.
It wasn't a big season for Sophie Turner. If this were last season, I'd say her, but this season she wasn't really given that much to do.
It wasn't a big season for anyone.
Well, Maisie Williams had a great season, but I don't think she did like the best out of these actresses, you know?
I mean, barely any actors did anything in the the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
With the exception of Emilia Clarke, who should win. Who's she up against? Let me look. Drama series, lead actress. Yeah, she might lose to Robin Wright for House of Cards, which was a surprise nomination that people were not expecting. I haven't still seen the end of that. Sandra Oh and Jodie Comer for both of those for Killing Eve are great. Sandra Oh won last year, though.
Right.
Or was that the Golden Globe?
That was the Golden Globes.
Mandy Moore for This Is Us. She's great, but she's going to be nominated again, even though, weirdly, this is her first nomination. Mm-hmm. Viola Davis, How to Get Away with Murder. I think next year is the last season for that. So she might win Going Out, which was what I think is going to happen with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, because this was the last season of Veep. I think Emilia Clarke has it.
Okay.
I think she's going to win that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. If anybody from Game of Thrones is going to get it.
They go, who's paid their dues, who's done this and that. This isn't, now, I will say, it's not as easy to predict as like the Oscars, because it's a different game. I would say that the Emmys and the Golden Globes are much more fair than the Oscars.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word. And harder to pick. But yeah.
If I had to pick for supporting actress, I would go with Julia Garner from Ozark. Have you seen that? Did you watch Ozark yet?
No, I haven't seen any of it.
Oh my goodness. She is so captivating because her character is kind of like an in-betweener. You don't know what side she's on. And she's put in these situations where she can make very good decisions or make very bad decisions, even more so than Jason Bateman's character. And it's just fascinating watching her. And she does a great job. So
yeah, it's on my list of shows, but it's just never been top priority because I don't know much about it, and you know.
It's also beautifully shot. That's another thing about it too. Part of it happens in Chicago, and just the color palette choices that they make with it, and the just the shot angles and everything. It's a beautiful show. Like this, I started watching it when I got the PS4 4K, the Pro one.
Yeah.
And that was what really made me sit up and take notice of the picture quality on there, because it's done in like Ultra 4K or whatever.
Yeah.
And it shows. They did a great job. I mean, you could see every leaf on the trees in the Ozarks, and it's
That's
just
cool.
Yeah. I can't say enough good things about that show. It's really good.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I'm really excited that Pen 15 got a nomination.
Yeah, me too.
Writing for comedy series. It's the only one they got, but considering it's such a weird show, an obscure comedy on Hulu, not on Netflix or something like that, that's pretty huge.
Man. I'm kind of sad to see that Laverne Cox got nominated for Guest Actress in a Drama Series for Orange is the New Black, because it reminded me that she wasn't even in the entire season last time.
I still haven't seen the entire season.
Yeah.
Last year. I got so bored that I stopped watching.
Man.
I need to, I know.
I didn't know Felicia Rashad showed up on This Is Us, so that's kind of cool.
Yes. Yeah, she, oh my God, she was phenomenal too. Yeah. Everyone's brilliant on that show.
I love Felicia Rashad. And it's sad that the majority of my fond memories of Felicia Rashad are from that other show that she did. So every time I see her pop up.
You can still enjoy the show, you just can't give it money. That's my fault too with it.
Yeah.
It's hard to see when it's an abuser on that level though, to see him.
It's true.
It's not easy.
Because you can't look at him and not think of that anymore.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I'm excited about some of the nominations. Kind of indifferent about others.
Yeah. I'm excited that Kumail Nanjiani got nominated for that episode of Twilight Zone he did, because he was great on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's cool how like you get little obscure things like that where you're like, oh yeah, I forgot they were on for an episode of that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they get nominated for an SNL episode or something. You're like, wait, what? Huh? Oh, yeah, okay.
Now, for structured reality programs, the Tidying Up with Marie Kondo got nominated, you know that's going to win. Because, yeah, everybody was talking about that one.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I guess.
Unstructured reality show. Oh, man. You never know what's going to happen.
I don't understand.
Have you watched that show, Somebody Feed Phil?
Yes, that one's actually really good.
Yeah. So that's cool
like
to
that
see
one
that
a lot.
nominated. I don't know if there's enough interest in it for people to really.
Whoa, Bradley Whitford's on The Handmaid's Tale?
There you go.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I just started watching Handmaid's Tale, by the way, guys. So, my story with Handmaid's Tale is I've never watched it, nor read the book, because I was like, I don't really want to watch women get raped and tortured. That's not my idea of a fun night.
No.
And so I was, like, told, okay, but it's good, like, give it a shot. Okay. So I did, and it clicked in my brain when I was watching it that it's a horror show, not a drama, which was what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be a drama with intense stuff, but when I started watching it, I was like, oh my God, everything about this, the way it's shot, the color work, the acting, I mean, everything, it's a horror story. And it allowed me to watch it, even though it's incredibly difficult to watch. I can't watch more than like an episode or two at a time, and then I have to go watch that 70s show to like wash my brain. But like, it's really, really well done. It deserves the hype.
I'm gonna have to get back to it. I'm gonna have to get back to it eventually.
How much of it did you watch?
I think I watched like the first 2 episodes of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, everything you were talking about basically happened in those first 2. So I'm like, I'm not feeling this right now.
I think that it depends on how you went into it, because I think most people just went into it thinking they were going to watch a show. Yeah. I went into it, I had already read up on it, the content of the first season. I had already known, I'll just say the Alexis Bledel storyline in the beginning, at least in the first season. I knew her storyline. I was like, I can't watch this. I can't do it. Originally. So because I knew so much going in, I was able to prepare myself. I don't know because I just started season 2 of it. I don't know if I'll be able to continue going forward, but it's like any horror thing. I'm like, I have a rule. I pull the plug if it upsets me too much. Yeah. So far it hasn't. So, I don't feel like I have to keep watching it. I mean, I stayed out of it for 4 years. That's how long it's been on the air or something like that. So, if I decide I can't deal with it, I'm just going to stop.
Okay. Well, man, anything else jump out at you?
Not really.
Emmys? Yeah.
Not really. I'm really excited for it though, because I feel like it's really competitive in a good way. Almost to the point where just about everyone in the category, if they win, you're happy. And I don't usually feel that way. I'm usually like, if Amy Adams doesn't win this fucking Oscar, like, I'm going to burn this place. I'm going to burn Utica to the ground. Like, I get so mad every time she loses. But, usually I'm deeply invested in one act or the other. But it's like, the one I was talking about, I'm like, oh my God, if Julia Louis-Dreyfus wins, that's amazing. If Catherine O'Hara wins, that's amazing. There's so many, there's just a lot of good stuff out there right now. And also, you go through that list, it's nice to not see Big Bang Theory nominated.
Yeah.
That was our final season. They didn't get any nominations.
Wow.
Modern Family, which is, I think, next year is going to be its last season. I didn't see any nominations. These powerhouses that just keep going and you keep seeing nominations and wins and it gets so tiresome are finally starting to go away and new things are coming through. And I think that that's why this season or this award season or whatever is so exciting, because you have fresh blood coming in. Yeah. Like, you have fresh shows, fresh actors, fresh writers. I mean, yeah, you have Game of Thrones, you have Veep. They've been nominated or won for many years in a row, but there's a lot of new stuff, and that's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, too much of a good thing is not as much of a good thing. So it's good to diversify it up a little bit, like you said.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so we got that. Emmys are happening. Hooray.
Emmys.
Emmys.
So I added this last second, but it's just a quick, and we don't have to get into the article, but they're saying that Harry Styles might be playing Eric in The Little Mermaid.
Harry Styles. Where do I know him from? What was he? What was this guy?
One Direction.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
And he's done some acting now. He was in Dunkirk.
Oh, okay.
First of all, his self-titled album from 2017 is awesome, and you should check it out. And I didn't listen to One Direction, but I listened to that, like this, it's just self-titled album. I listened to it because people were coming out with reviews, and they're like, this is a great rock album. And I was like, wait, what? Okay, like this boy band guy? And it is really, really good. And I was like, oh, I'm a fan of this dude. And now he, like, there's whole compilation videos of him on stage. And I guess he does this at, like, every show. But he's like, you guys are everything to me. You've given me everything. I'm so happy you're here. I hope we've given you a great show. We can't do this without you. I'm so grateful for you. Like, and just he's so humble. He's so kind. He's always got, like, pride flags up and everything like that. I mean, I just really like him overall. He seems like despite being a child star to a degree, he seems pretty level-headed. I love that he's possibly going to be Eric in that movie, because it's just going to make me even more mad, because Ariel's going to be black and he's going to be white.
Yep.
And we get everyone even more fucking pissed, which that just makes my heart grow like the Grinch. It's just so happy.
It's great. It's great. I'm happy. Yeah. It's just
even if he doesn't get it, I do hope that they cast white Eric just to fuck with people. Really.
I just have no respect for people that just disrespect interracial couples or just anything like that. I mean, it's not your business. Just stay out of it.
Agreed. What? I don't understand why that's still a thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Get over it.
Yeah. I've not ever experienced that firsthand, but I've had friends that have, and it's just so hurtful, because all people want to do is love each other in that scenario, and being told that their love is invalid because of the color of their skin is just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's a thing that people think is in the past, just like so many other racial issues. Mm-hmm. And you go, no, like Loving vs. Virginia was, oh my God, what, like 60? Now I need to. No, it was 1967.
Yeah. That's
not that long ago. Like, our parents were pretty much alive.
There are people still alive in this world that had to deal with segregation.
Yeah. Or
people who still
get married. Like, you couldn't get married if you were in a mixed relationship. Like, that's nuts. Right. So I like seeing things like that.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think it's just like seeing, LGBT representation, all of it. Not to say it's the same. They're all different things, but any sort of representation breaks down barriers and normalizes things.
So it's amazing to me, because we went from the Cinderella remake not really getting that much press, to people being like, oh yeah, that's a thing that's happening.
Yeah.
To, of course, like the Disney Renaissance movies being remade, like Lion King and Aladdin, people taking notice and complaining about every little thing, to this movie that hasn't even said action on the first scene, that's already just getting people all riled up. There was an article that kind of rubbed me the wrong way just because of the way it was phrased. It was on Comic Book Resources, and they said something to the regard of, all right, well, look, we're not saying Disney is doing this type of casting to get people upset so they'll talk about it, but we're not saying that either. Just one of those, one of those type of shitty, denials.
They're just doing this for the free publicity. You really think that a company is going to risk that much shit being thrown at them?
Right. And of course, it's not a perfect science either. It could blow up in their face. Right. But the part that gets to me the most is the role of the oblivious reporter, quote unquote, trying to put that thought out there. just to try to poison minds, but not really saying that it's happening, but saying, what if it is? Posing the question, what if this is happening? Yeah, get out of here with that bullshit. I don't know, man. Anyway, we weren't even gonna go down that road for too long. No.
But it's cool. Yeah. So I'm hoping that that's true. If not, though, whoever they cast is going to be good. Yeah. Just like we said last week, where it's like, whoever they go with, that's good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. They're clearly the right person for the part.
They're making me want to support this movie.
Even
if sure. I've never been like the biggest fan of Little Mermaid. Like, it was good, like we said last week. Now they're making me pretty much have to buy a ticket, so that's going to happen.
Lin-Manuel Miranda's working on it, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Interesting. Okay.
The soundtrack stuff, I think he's working on it. So, yeah.
It's funny because he was in the new Mary Poppins movie.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
Was good.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it, but what's weird about it, nobody made a fuss about that. It was like, yeah, all right, Lin-Manuel Miranda's in it, so what?
Well, he wasn't playing the same character.
Oh, okay.
Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, no. I thought he was like playing Dick Van Dyke's character.
No, he was actually the adult version of a child from the original.
So. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about something farcical. Let's talk about something completely ridiculous now.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Area 51. So, what have you heard about this bullshit?
What have I heard about Area 51?
Not just Area 51. I've heard a great
many things.
But the specific September 20th raid on Area 51. So
I saw this... Whenever it started going around, I did see someone made a Facebook... And this happens every once in a while where they'll make an event. And I remember it was really popular, like, around the beginning of me being on Facebook, where it was like, we're going to make weird events. And everyone, and they're just virtual events. No one's actually going to them. And so this one's like, they can't stop us all, or whatever.
Yeah, that was the tagline. They can't stop us all. It's
they're
the government.
Really preparing for people to show up.
Yeah, and these government agencies are like, hey guys, that's funny. We have a sense of humor. Haha, no we don't. But please don't come, or else we'll have to shoot you and or arrest you. So yeah. You're trying to trespass.
But this is also kind of smart because they're going to live stream it. I just saw that.
God.
They're going to live stream it. If they do anything to anyone, they're kind of fucked. So, it puts them in a weird position where they it's a little bit right where they're like, they can't get us all.
Oh my God.
It's messed up. I mean, nowadays, who fucking knows? They could kill someone. Who cares?
Well, I mean, yeah, we have very wily people in decision-making positions right now in our country, number one. Yeah. Number two, it's just like, okay, you're trespassing on private government property. Legally, yes, they can do whatever they want if you're trespassing.
Do you think that there's anything there?
No.
You don't?
Not what people are hoping for. Not like, spaceships and aliens.
I think there's something there. I just don't think it's what they think it is.
Right. I mean, it could be anything from nuclear technology to plans they don't want anybody to see to just blacklisted experiments that they did that they don't want getting out. Something like that. I could totally see that.
Well, why have they kept it open for so long? That's the part. Why is it stayed?
Why is Area 51 just like a widely known government base? Here's the spoiler. It's not. It's just it's smoke and mirrors. If there's anything that our government is hiding from us, it's not just in one central location. Hey guys, don't go here.
That's not what I was saying. What I was saying is what is the value? Someone explain this to us.
Okay.
If you know. What is the value of that actual area? Is it like a strategic thing?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what? Because it seems like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Right. And I
think.
So
why is it so important?
I think that's why it's just been built up over time. It's just like, something crazy's got to be going on there. There's nothing else there. It must be amazing. It must be some huge government cover-up secret.
Sorry, I just pressed the wrong button and realized I can share my screen with you.
Oh.
That could go very poorly.
That's
No, thank you.
Game changer.
What tab does Lex have? Oh, shit. No. But yeah, no, that's what I'm curious about. Like, what is the real reason, particularly if you're in military, if you can tell us, what is the real reason for having that area? And why would it be dangerous for someone to go? What was the reference that they were saying? The comic or anime or whatever?
Oh, Naruto?
Naruto? They're like, go Naruto, which I don't understand what that means.
Naruto runs. So the way that they run on Naruto is they run with their heads down, looking forward, and their arms behind their back.
Oh my god, I really want to see this. If they do live stream, when is it again?
It's September 10th.
I feel like we need to somehow find a way to watch the live stream and stream our thoughts.
You know it's going to be. Oh, September 20th. You know there's going to be like just countless ways to watch this on Reddit and everything. It's just going to be everywhere.
Nobody is going to fly out to this, right? No?
There are going to be some people that are crazy enough to try it. And they're going to get arrested immediately.
Yeah, I would never do this.
Yeah, I mean, these are...
Even if I thought it was, like, real, I would not risk what they're risking for this thing.
They can't stop all of this. What?
They can't stop all of this.
You deserve to be stopped, okay? I'll just put that out there. Like, you can't be trusted with government secrets of this caliber. If this is how you're going to go about getting to them, by running like on a cartoon and posting memes about Men in Black, no, you don't deserve.
To me, it sounds just like the guys who were like, well, if the government does this, we're going to have to rise up. And I'm like, so the scenario...
But you want to know,
you rise up and that you take down the whole government, and in the process, you're talking about killing soldiers, which you also think people are disrespecting when they do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like,
I think these are two different camps. I think these are just like, I'm sure there's some intersection there, but this is probably a different camp altogether. I
have questions for both camps.
Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that a lot of people are just like joking around about it, but there's some people who are bored and have a disposable income and will try it. But yeah. I just don't. I don't see the value in it. But here's the main way that you know.
How many people are going to show up? That's what I'm like really 10. Curious about.
It's going to be like 10 dudes. Okay, but this is how you really know.
See, you think it's going to be 10 dudes. I think it's going to be way, way more people than we would have ever thought, and it's going to be disturbing how many fucking people show up. This is going to be a wake up call. There's going to be hundreds of people. That's what my call is with it. It's going to be. Look who we have as our president. Look what is happening to this fucking country.
Yeah.
Like, come on, people. It is not that crazy to think all these people are like, yeah, let's storm Area 51, man. Let's do it. And then, some of them are going to bring AKs or something. It's going to be a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, those are going to be the folks that get taken down. Because, I mean, all right, if they show up and they're unarmed and they're just playing around, I can see them like, okay, we're going to take you. We're going to arrest you. Cool,
What if it just turns into Burning Man?
It's going to turn into Burning Man. It's going to turn into like the Gathering of the Juggalos. It's going to be a mixture of all of that. Everything you could possibly imagine.
Oh, so many hacky sacks.
But what I was going to say, thankfully not. What I was going to say, the way that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that aliens don't exist is because if at the first presidential briefing they told Trump about that, we'd have heard about it by now.
Alternative idea.
Okay.
We don't actually know. And I agree with that because I have said that before. But we don't know because despite Trump being a person dumb enough to just blab it, he is also a person who lacks all intellectual curiosity and likely didn't even ask.
That's true. Or they could have just given him
you have access to all of it, but you have to seek it out.
That's true.
Unless it's an imminent problem. They're not giving you all the information. Like, why would they? Why would they keep him on, something like something that happened in Vietnam?
That's how he would have sold Space Force. If he'd have been like, look, you guys don't know there are things going to be attacking us from other planets that we're not aware of. We need a Space Force. We need it right now.
Right. Which is breaking treaties and a whole...
Oh man. It's
I'm
so weird.
Tired, guys.
Yeah. That's why I didn't want to go down the Trump path.
Anyway. Vote, you motherfuckers. Vote. And if you don't vote Democrat, fuck you. I'm sorry. At this point, I can just throw that blanket over all of this. Seriously, guys. Man. Kids are in cages. Fuck this place.
It's fucked up. Yeah. Don't vote for the party that put kids in cages. I could say that.
Yeah. Why don't you think about that, please?
Don't vote for that. Oh, but Obama did. Well, you know what? He's not doing it right now. So if you're upset as we are about it now.
Also, that's not the only thing. If that was first of all, it's heinous. But if you can find one thing and it's a problem, then someone can go, yeah, but look at all this. Like, we're talking about a daily. We're gonna have so much PTSD from this shit.
Yeah,
it's nuts. If anything, just vote for the people that believe in science, so that we can actually do something about climate change. Because that's the thing that's gonna fucking destroy us all.
Right.
So, find out if the person that you're voting for believes in science. If they don't, reconsider voting for them. And then tell your family members to do the same.
Maybe don't vote for a person that tells 3 American-born citizens to go back to their country if they don't like it here.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty dumb, too.
I just saw that and I was like... I swear, I just went... They're Americans.
They are.
It didn't make any sense to me, but whatever. None of it ever does make sense.
Americans. Okay, so...
Americans.
Let's... Earlier you were talking about how they removed that scene from Toy Story.
Yes.
Toy Story 2. And this is... Okay. The other side of that coin is taking content out of digital streaming entertainment.
Yes.
That they just thought didn't fit. For instance, a better example. Kanye, when he came out with Life of Pablo, and it was only on Jay-Z's streaming service.
Tidal.
It was a living album, basically. So he released the first version of it, but he would go in almost daily and change things.
Okay.
With the production of that album. Now, I mean, that was fascinating to me.
Whatever, that's his thing.
That's his thing. But it was fascinating to me because it's like, all right, it wasn't out on any type of like physical media. So nobody had the official copy unless you like downloaded it that first day and burned it onto a disc or, something a little bit more modern, maybe like an 8-track.
Yeah. That's what I use.
Of course, everybody does. But what I'm getting at is the fact that like, it was just morphing all the time. It was always changing based on how he felt on a certain day. So what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, as far as like owning your media and how that's still important, it comes into play here as well. Here's another example of it. You sent a link over saying that Netflix cut the suicide scene out of 13 Reasons Why.
Or cut down. I didn't fully read into it, but
okay.
But mainly either cut down or cut it. Let me look at the article real quick.
Yeah.
No longer has the controversial suicide scene. They've edited it out.
Like
shown in the finale. Yeah, you can go ahead because you've seen it. I haven't. I've not watched this show.
I watched all of it. I was I don't want to make people worried. I was in a bad place.
It says that they re-edited it.
Okay.
That's what they claim to get rid of graphic depictions of suicide and violence.
Yeah. You know what? And it's interesting because I don't know if this is the same piece that's related to what I heard on NPR today. But they were saying like, all right, so one of the things that psychologists will tell you when it comes to people who commit suicide is to never publish the suicide note.
Mm-hmm.
And 13 Reasons Why was 13 hours of a suicide note.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the book being problematic.
Yeah.
Like, when that was out. And when the first season of that show came out, which, whatever, I had no interest in it because I knew it depicted rape and I knew it depicted suicide. And I was like, nope, done. I'm out. I didn't even interest me in the first place, but I was like, fuck this, I'm done. And then, first of all, there have been suicides linked to that show. Even I have friend of friends type of situation, like, who, yeah, it's linked to that show. And I talked to my therapist about it, psychiatrist, and she said that it's a problem and they've had to deal with it. So basically everyone in the psychiatric community and therapy community, everything like that, was saying this is wrong.
Yeah. And
you should not be depicting things this way.
Yeah.
Everything about this show is handling this in the wrong way. It's not the way we would do it. I mean, the fact that it took them how many years now? 3 years to fix this is fucked up.
Yeah, it has been that long. I don't want to get too into it, but like, I keep saying that this episode and I apologize because that's kind of what we're here for. It was jarring, to say the least, when they got to that part, because you think they're going to cut away. You think that they're going to, use creative editing to not show what was going on.
No.
It was unflinching. Like, from start to finish, to all the way her parents finding her.
It's a show marketed towards teenagers. Why do you decide to become like an avant-garde, like, motherfucker? Like,
well, it wasn't the way that they rationalized it was to say that they wanted to show the effect that someone taking their own life would have on others around them, and it accomplished that. At least in my eyes, it did accomplish that. But at the same time, it romanticized it to a point where if someone was thinking about taking their own life, the act of leaving behind these 13 audio tapes for people to understand the significance that they had in your life and everything like that, it was definitely a love letter to taking your own life.
Plus, wasn't it like half of it was blaming too? Like,
saying,
absolutely. That's also really fucking terrible. Like,
yeah, because then these other people, well, I mean, all right, so they were not altruistic, and yeah, a lot of people did have a negative effect on the character, but I'm not here to review it. It's still romanticized suicide. Yeah, I can't deny that. So they took a couple different approaches to it. They initially tried to defend the scene. Then they put a card at the beginning of the episode. Then they opened a website called 13reasonswhy.info in order for people to do their own research and seek out help if need be. Just resources about suicide prevention. And now they've taken another step. They've re-edited it. So
yeah, and I'm usually very much against that.
Yeah.
Editing, altering stuff. I don't like, sanitizing things or whatever. But I'm of the opinion with this particular show, and they've done studies of like people were they were Googling this show and how to commit suicide, X, Y, and Z type of things.
Yeah.
Oh, and there were spikes in that after it aired. And so like the data is there for it. I am of the opinion that I don't give a fuck how much they cut this show down because it's trash to me, and I don't think it should have existed in the first place. I think that I don't think that that's the overall opinion, but like to me, this is not the Netflix is removing cigarettes from their stuff, like, or they're trying to cut down on cigarette smoking in their shows. This is really a huge problem. And it's handled the wrong way. And we have, I've noticed more and more articles are good about saying a person, died by suicide rather than saying committed suicide, because that's what the suicide prevention people, like organizations, say is the better phrasing.
Yeah.
So reporters are trying to be more responsible with this. Yeah. It's an epidemic in our country. It's an epidemic overall. But I just think that I don't believe like, oh, we have a full responsibility with everything. But like you do to a degree. Especially when you're making a show for teenagers. Yeah. And that show was made for teenagers. And I just don't think it was right.
You got to listen to the professionals when it comes to stuff like this. You can't just guess and do it half-assed. You really need to have an open ear for that sort of thing. And it's obvious that the creators of the show didn't do enough research beforehand because they're playing catch up. Like you said, 3 years later. I hope that parties were able to take something from it, at least to the extent of actually seeing the effect that their absence would have on their family and friends in a derogatory way. I do hope that. But
I'm sure that there are some people that watched it and it resonated in the way that I believe the filmmakers intended, which was to show you what it does and everything like that. I'm not saying that the filmmakers intended for it to be as damaging as it was, but I just think that they didn't do the most basic research, which is this is everything that the suicide prevention warns against doing.
Right.
You know? And that to me is being incredibly irresponsible when you're talking about kids and young adults who are very influential, or very easily influenced. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at it right now, it's like you and I basically just looked it up on the internet and found this article on NPR that is cited and has done their research and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know, these are all things that could have been done before finishing this show, before putting it up there.
Yeah. Yeah, but, and research is a really fun part of writing. It's one of my favorite parts of writing. So I'm like, whenever there's not research, I'm like, what the fuck are you missing out on? Like, what are you doing, man? This is one of the best parts of the job.
Oh, when you're dealing with heavy, subject matter such as this, especially, you can't half-ass it.
Nope, you can't.
So, I mean, this is just a lesson.
At least they went and, have taken some precautions for future viewings.
Yeah.
I would still say if you haven't seen it, I still haven't seen it. Like I said, I talked to a professional about, not because I was contemplating watching it, but because I was like, hey, is this a problem? Because I think it sounds like it would be a problem. And she was like, oh yeah, we have to write about it and talk to our kids about it. And, from both a parent, because she's a mother, as well as a professional. She saw it on both ends of the spectrum of how bad it was.
Yeah.
And how she was like, I didn't even know what this was. My recommendation would be, if you want to watch a show that handles mental health depictions properly and very well, go watch, and it's weird because the title, you wouldn't think it, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. One of the best depictions of mental health issues and getting help and all kinds of that out there. One of the best.
Was the show created for that reason, or was it just like an accident that it kind of happened along the way that way?
It was created for that reason. Like she wanted to explore this idea of women are crazy, like this trope, this bullshit thing, and explore kind of mental illness clearly, and just. I mean, it's hard to explain. It is a musical. It is a comedy. It's hysterical at times. It will make you cry at other times. It is so well done. The story is complete. They just finished this last year. It's 4 seasons. Each season is, I think it's like 15 episodes or something like that. So you can watch the entire story right now. And it's all on Netflix. And I recommend that any day over 13 Reasons Why, or really anything else. I just think it's you know what it is too? It's one of those shows that's going to be like Arrested Development in a couple of years. You're going to have people telling you, oh my God, have you seen this show?
Yeah.
And a couple people did. It was the lowest rated CW show throughout its entire run, pretty much its entire run.
Yeah.
The guy who runs the CW, he's like, I don't care. They're making art. I'm just going to let them keep doing it. He didn't care. He didn't give a shit about the bad ratings for the show. He was like, they're doing a great thing here. He gave them 4 seasons. They had that plan from the start. And just let them go. Let them do what they wanted.
All right.
Which is rare, like, in today's age.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to get to that show eventually. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's kind of like Ozark for you. It's on my list. You know?
I'm just saying, if someone's like, oh, maybe I should, like, no, go watch this one instead.
Yeah.
Do this instead. It's better for your brain.
I like that approach. I do appreciate that, and that's something that I strive to accomplish whenever, I have something derogatory to say about a certain form of entertainment or something like this, which kind of like dances on the line between educainment. Oh my god, educating and entertaining. Edutainment, as they used to say. I like to have an alternate recommendation for that sort of thing. So I appreciate that you had something ready, because that's perfect. That's good.
I actually didn't really. I just thought of it just now. So that's my random brain helping out this time.
Hey, that's even better. It worked out. So.
Do you want to hear a murder story?
No.
Yes, you do. So.
Okay, go for it. What do you got?
Let's lighten things up with a murder story real quick.
There you go.
Okay. So last night my dad calls me.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Hey, so I heard this story and I think you'd like to hear it." Okay. And I was like, "Okay." Now usually I'm like, whatever, like, And he's like, "No, I think you'll like this one." And so he says, I was talking to my friend, and she was talking to me about her son and, his life, this and that. And she said he was dating this girl, and this girl was crazy. Uh-huh. And that's what we were just talking about, which is like, and my dad it was saying, "Oh, yeah, is it crazy?" Because he knows that's, I think I've talked to him about it or whatever. Like, this is a trope, and you shouldn't call women crazy.
Right.
And she went, "No."
You need that. You need that.
Actually crazy. and so he goes, "Wait, what?" Uh-oh. So apparently this young man who's about my age, a little bit older, he was dating a girl, and I think was living with her. Oh. And she stabbed him in the leg with a kitchen knife.
Oh, what?
So she stabbed him. Now, this is my dad's friend's son. Uh-huh. So she stabbed him with a kitchen knife. Okay. And so he was like, "Oh, shit." So got out of there, moved back in with his parents. But apparently he decided, I'm not going to stop fucking her.
Oh, that's the worst idea ever.
Okay. She stabbed him in the leg. Okay. So he's living with his parents again.
Wow. Okay.
Because he had to get away from her. Uh-huh. But he decides he's going to sneak her into the house.
Oh, God, no.
So his mom is, gearing down for the night or whatever, and she hears screaming.
Oh, no.
And so she's like, "What's going on?" And like, hears scream, gets closer to the door. She's like, "What's happening?" And kind of like knocks and is like, what's going on? Hears yelling and screaming and all that. And finally opens the door and sees her son on top of the girl. She's got a fork in her hand. No. She's trying to stab him. And he's like, "Call the police, call the police, call the police." He's pinning her down. And she's fighting with all of her power to try to stab him with a fork.
Wow.
So apparently this girl, despite all of that, like, she's not in jail or anything. So she's just about with her life.
Okay.
And he manages to get away from her. And she goes and gets another boyfriend, new guy or whatever.
Okay.
So the son, one day, his phone lights up.
Oh, no.
And people are like, dude, are you okay? Dude, are you okay? What's going on? Hey, what's wrong? Hey, are you all right? I'm so worried about you. And he's like, what the fuck is going on here? And one of the people goes, she killed her boyfriend.
Holy shit.
And enough time had not passed that she like stabbed her boyfriend. And enough time had not passed that people thought that they were still dating, so they thought he was dead. So they were calling to check in on him. They thought he was dead. So my dad tells me this story, and he did not tell me that it was a murder story. He just started out with like, yeah, this girl's crazy. She did this, and then he ended with, which I probably should have done the same, but I was like, oh my fucking god, she's a murderer. And I was like high-pitched losing it on this phone call. Like, this is the greatest story ever. I'm so glad you called me. Oh my god. I was just like, it's fucked up to be, my murderino self that was like, tell me everything.
So, okay, I need more. So this girl,
I might be able to answer questions. I might not. I didn't,
Is she incarcerated at this time?
Yes.
Good. Okay, that's all I needed. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Not for the attempted stuff, because I don't think it was I don't think it was attempted murder.
No,
it was probably like domestic battery or something. Because she stabbed him in the leg, and then she's trying to stab him. I don't know, or maybe she was pending charges with the other thing, and then she's out on bail or whatever, and then she decides, well, I'm gonna kill this other dude I'm fucking. I don't know.
This is why you don't mess around with people that are a little off like that, because you never know.
Crazy. Don't fuck crazy. It's not worth it.
It's not. It may seem like a good option at the time. There are some very attractive, crazy people. However, don't fuck crazy.
They're bed bugs. Once you get them in, you can't get them out. And it's not good.
There's nothing attractive about bed bugs, though. I know. Crazy people make all kind of promises and everything like that.
You know what? You see a couch on the side of the road, and you're like, nice couch.
I need a couch.
It's a little bit beat up, but you know what? That shit is good. Why would someone throw out a perfectly good couch? I don't understand. Why would you throw out that couch? And then you bring that couch into your house, and bam, bed bugs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not, sex shaming anybody here, but you gotta common sense it up sometimes, man. Like, if shit's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true.
I will sex shame. I will shame you if I think that if you're doing stupid shit that's endangering yourself. And
yeah.
After she stabs you in the leg, stop fucking her.
Bad. Yeah.
Right.
No more.
I think I have free reign to shame that person.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no, this is, no. Nope. Wow.
God, it was nuts. That story was,
Wow. Your dad's friend's kid got out of there just in time.
Yeah, no, and then he was like, yeah, and then, a few years before, my dad was telling me that, a few years before, it was another friend was, like, her stepson, like, went nuts and killed his dad and then himself or something like that. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, I was like, how many murder stories do you have?
Too many.
Holy shit.
If you got more than one.
It's too many.
If you have one, it's too many. Yeah, so everybody's got one where they narrowly avoided murdering. Or getting murdered, rather. Not murdering, no. Where they avoided getting murdered. So. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I would say both.
Yeah.
Both is good. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
So that was a little bit wall of weird, but,
Yeah, that was absolutely wall of weird. Did I ever tell you about the time I got stalked? I feel like I told that story here before.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've told me. Yeah. I think you told it on here.
Okay. Well, we'll save it for another time. Anyway.
People, if Matt didn't tell that story, then let us know, and you can tell it next time.
Yeah, I've been stalked.
And if you want to hear the story, I guess.
Yeah.
Second part, which I'm sure they do.
Let us know if you want to hear about that weird time that I got stalked. And it's not just, I think I was being followed. It was like, no,
it was bad.
You were encountered crazy.
Swim fan bad.
Yeah. Anyway, so, You know, recently here in Chicago, we were graced with the presence of an alligator.
Yep.
And in our very own Humboldt Park area, our Humboldt Park neighborhood, which is a nice park area. I know a few people live over there. Some people I want to forget, but others are real cool.
You guys are real babies about this alligator, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out there.
You're just being real shitty about it. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, an alligator where there shouldn't be an alligator shows up in a part of the country where an alligator wouldn't normally show up. People are going to freak out a little bit. All right? That's like if all of a sudden you're sitting there in your room and you look over in the corner and there's a fucking deep dish pizza. That doesn't make sense at all, does it? No, because there's no deep dish pizza, Chicago style pizza in your part of the country in that part of your house. So yes, that would freak you out.
But in both scenarios, it ain't going to hurt me.
Alligator will hurt you if you get too close to it.
Alligators are fine. Just don't let your dogs near the water.
See?
That's fine.
Well, that's just it. People in Chicago, they just let their fucking dogs off the leash and everything. That's a whole different conversation. I got problems with some dog owners, but they just let their dogs all run all,
That's dog owners everywhere.
Yeah, just everywhere. It's like, come on, man. Have a little sense. Have a little care for your pup. Anyway, alligator shows up. Starts off as an urban legend. People are like, I saw an alligator. People are like, you're lying. Other people are like, no, I saw it. Then they finally got photographic evidence. So, of course, we in Chicago start having fun. We start having a great time. People set up shop near Humboldt Park and start selling like T-shirts.
Jesus.
I saw one that was pretty great. That was the Jurassic Park logo, but instead of the dinosaur skull, it had an alligator skull. It said Humboldt Park in the text.
Oh, my God.
People were selling alligator sausages at stands nearby, which I thought was kind of crass, But the entire time, we were blessed with the presence of a legend, the one and only Chance the Snapper.
Mm-hmm.
Who
named it Chance the Snapper? Do we know the origin of that?
It was a Twitter poll from like Block Party Chicago, whatever website it was that broke the story. They had a Twitter poll. And so Chance the Snapper was one of the options. Another one was Ruth Gator Ginsburg.
I want that one. Oh. That might be the episode title.
There was Frank Lloyd Bite. That was another one. But yeah, these were all the options. There were like maybe 12 or 15 of them. I don't remember. But Chance the Snapper was the clear winner from jump. And Chance.
I mean, it's great, but I love Ruth Gator Ginsburg a lot.
But Chance the Rapper, who was also a Chicago resident, he loved it. And he was retweeting stories about it. And he was having a great time. Also, he's going to be on Jimmy Fallon tonight talking about his new album. I guarantee you they're going to ask him about this alligator. So, anyway.
Yeah, it's a big story.
Yeah, so back to it.
Because you guys are babies.
Hey, look, like I said, alligator where there shouldn't be alligator. Anyway.
Alligators are just angry because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. All you got to do is give them a toothbrush.
I'm not going to test that theory. But, anyway, we had a guy come out. He called himself Alligator Bob. Alligator Bob tried to find this alligator for 5 days. I'm just going to tell you that
anyone that puts an animal title in front of their name is a sketchy motherfucker.
What about Crocodile Dundee?
Yeah, I stand by what I just fucking said. Did I stutter? No.
Anyway.
That's not a knife. This is a knife. What the fuck, dude?
Alligator Bob failed us. And so we had to call in a specialist from, of all places, fucking Florida to come and find this alligator.
Well, I brought the goddamn alligator in, so you gotta have someone to extract it.
You heard it here first, folks. We all wanted to know where the alligator came from. And you brought it with you when you came out for Sketchfest.
It was just a wee little lass. Ruth Gator Ginsburg. Actually, my child. I can't give birth to a human child. I can only give birth to a little baby gator.
So anyway, the city fell in love with the gator, and we eventually caught it. And by we, I mean motherfucker from Florida finally caught it. And when they brought it out of the water, he had this adorable collar for it. It had a little bow tie and everything. And he taped his mouth shut so he couldn't smile at everybody, of course.
Gators are kind of cute.
They are kind of cute. And this one was a little one. This one was like maybe 3 feet or whatever. So it was like an adolescent.
That size, they are cute. Like they are little, because look, they can hurt you. They can definitely take a finger. Like you need to take them seriously. Don't mess with them. Like I say that to people if you're in an area that has them. But at the same time, like you can admire them from afar and be like, oh, that's a cute little gator.
So it was kind of cool because like this was a story about Chicago that made national news, that nobody got killed. There was no gang violence. There was no like Trump bashing, anything like that.
He was a crook though, right?
No, he was a blood.
My favorite part about that is I'm like, I have no fucking clue what gangs are. This was my whiteness, so I'm like, are those there too? No? Well, don't wear red or blue, Chance.
But what I was attempting to say is the fact that this Gator brought the city together. It was kind of cool. Like, people...
It's a wholesome... Because it ended well. They caught it alive.
So, So the guy that caught Chance, his name is Frank Robb of Florida. And, his picture's all over the Tribune and all over the internet. And, God
assuming
bless him.
He's going to bring it back and put it in a
well, that's just it. We don't know what's going to happen. They caught him alive and well. And he is now under the watchful eye of Chicago Animal Care and Control. And they're going to figure out what to do with him next. They're not going to put him down. They've already said.
Oh God! I just had a flashback of the Parks and Rec episode where they're like, kill all birds. Got it. Like, animal control guys. So you want me to kill all these birds, right? Like, okay, so no, don't kill Chance the Snapper. Oh, right, kill Chance the Snapper. Like, I'm guessing they'll put him in a zoo nearby. Do you have a zoo in that area?
Yeah. We've got a couple zoos. We've got Lincoln Park Zoo. We've got Brookfield Zoo.
I'm not a huge zoo person. I'm more of a actual conservation land person because zoos are a whole separate thing. But that's probably the best bet if they're going to keep him in Chicago area. If not, there's plenty of places where they can send him. Yeah. I'm sure they're going to want to keep him in the area because he's going to be an attraction.
Oh, that's cool. So they invited Rob to throw out the first pitch at the Cubs game tonight too.
Oh, cool.
So, I mean, this is what I'm saying. It's like just such a great Chicago story. Like this is what happened in the summer of 2019.
Yeah, it's a wholesome thing. That's always a good thing. Like, to not have a shitty story about your city is wonderful.
Yeah.
Especially when it's fucked up at, no, I'm just kidding.
This is like something that would happen on Bob's Burgers or something like that, The other part of it too, it's like...
sound like a plot to that show. That's great.
Yeah, like, it's unfortunate the way that it started, because it has to be that somebody got the alligator as like an exotic pet, didn't know what to do with it, and then just dumped it in the lagoon. But thankfully,
don't do that. That's how we got all the pythons that we have here in Florida.
Wow.
It's from dumb people dumping them off. Now they have python hunts every year because they get so big and take over the ecosystem. They're such a problem that they pay people per python that they kill and deliver to them, kind of thing.
So of course there were pop-up bars and everything, drink specials. A little bit of everything. People were just celebrating the alligator, and yeah.
What's funny is my wall of weird story for this week is Gator related as well, but not Chance.
Is it time? Is it time for the wall of weird?
I mean, I feel like we were already in that because
this whole episode
Chance the Snapper is a wall of weird. Yeah, this whole episode's a wall of weird.
Basically, yeah. Everything we've been talking about is a wall of weird worthy. So, what do you got?
Okay. This is from Alabama, AL.com, written by Ivana. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Ivana. I'm sorry. I'll post the link in our Facebook group, which you can get in if you join our Patreon. Right. Okay, so Tennessee police arrested a man after he allegedly tried to flush dozens of grams of drugs down the toilet.
As one does.
Okay. So... apparently, police jokingly said in Alabama that this could create, quote, meth gators.
Meth gators,
Okay,
you say?
so this is a Facebook post from the police department. Folks, please don't flush your drugs, okay? Okay, is what they said.
Okay.
When you send something down the sewer pipe, it ends up in our retention ponds for processing before it's sent down the stream. Now our sewer guys take great pride in releasing water that is cleaner than is in the creek, but they are not really prepared for meth.
Who is? Like, who is prepared for
Ducks, geese, and other fowl frequent our treatment ponds, and we shudder to think what one all hyped up on meth could do.
Holy shit.
Furthermore, it makes it if it made it far enough, we could create meth gators.
Wow.
Meth gators in the Shoal Creek and the Tennessee River down in North Alabama.
Meth gators, more than meets the eye.
They've had enough methed up animals the past few weeks without our help, which, what the fuck is that story?
Right. I need more context on that.
I know.
Officer, what do you know?
So if you need to dispose of your drugs, just give us a call and we'll make sure they're properly disposed of.
Oh my God. Meth
Which
gators.
I wouldn't trust the cops on that, but don't flush your drugs.
Right. Take your drugs.
Just do the drugs.
Your prescription drugs is what I meant.
Yeah.
However, methed up gators, like, you lose teeth.
That's a movie. That's a sci-fi movie. It's already in production, I'm sure.
It's a B movie. It's a B movie
yeah,
at
it's
best.
going to be terrible.
Yeah, maybe a silent
You know
film.
Sci-Fi's going to come out with that next year,
Yeah.
right? And
Like,
it's going to be called Chance the Snapper.
No, you know what? We had that Crawler movie come out that kind of did nothing, which is funny because it's like, you know,
out.
everybody's got Gator fever right now, and Crawler came out, and no one really said anything about it.
I didn't know it was out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
I don't know. I mean, come on. What do I
No
look
one
like?
cares about Crawler.
Right. No. It looks like a trash movie anyway.
I think it's the title too. It doesn't help.
No, it doesn't really tell you what it's about.
It needs to be called Gator.
Do you realize that we have 3 movies simultaneously in theaters right now about toys coming to life? It's just the endings are different.
Child's Play, Toy Story 4. What's the other one?
Annabelle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. 2 of them are murderous. One of them was pretty wholesome. That was the funniest thing about the Child's Play advertising, was that it was like taking the piss out of Toy Story, because you'd kind of see a doll that looked a little bit like Buzz Lightyear lying on the floor, like busted up or something like that.
I loved those. And I've also heard really good things about that movie. Like that
Child's
it
Play?
was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean, Mark Hamill did the voice, and, you know, he's good.
Yeah. I'm going to rent it when it comes out, I think.
Me too. Aubrey Plaza's in it. It's got the guy whose name I always forget from Atlanta, and I don't want to mess it up. Hot Atlanta. Yeah.
I don't remember his name either, so I can't help you there.
It's hot Chicago right now, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Anyway. So that's our wall of weird.
Yeah, that was a gator-filled wall of weird.
Yeah. So we got a lot of end credit stuff to talk about for this episode. I got a lot of stuff to shill. Because, you know, it's been a while, and I haven't really busied myself with much, and it's about to be busy season again. So, talking about the Uncanny Kickstarter just launched. Uncanny Magazine is a magazine that Dee and I both do submission editing for. So, when folks mail in their submissions for this sci-fi magazine that strives to give people of color and marginalized folks more of a, their deserved presence in the sci-fi world, we're the ones that get to read the stories, among others. So, you know, definitely keep an eye out for that and support it. By all means, please support it. It's a great magazine. Mm-hmm. This is year 6.
Great.
Now, I'm going to put this episode out probably Wednesday. So by the time you hear this, you'll have a short period of time to enter. But CNSC, Chicago Nerd Social Club, we're doing, we've been invited to see Pennyworth, the upcoming prequel to Gotham. It's not.
Oh,
related
I'm
to
so
Gotham at
sorry.
all. Yeah, no,
Thoughts and prayers.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. It is the Epics show, the upcoming Epics show that focuses on the early days of Alfred Pennyworth, the Wayne's trusted butler, that has absolutely nothing to do with Gotham. So don't even think about that.
Yeah, you know what Pennyworth does in this one? He fucks. That's why you want to watch it.
He might. I don't know. You never know. You never know. So that's going on. I think that's all the shilling I have that's outside of this show. So
yeah. San Diego Comic-Con is this weekend, later this weekend into next week. So we're going to cover that next week. But that will be Patreon only, guys. San Diego Comic-Con, it will be an exclusive episode for our Patreon. So go on patreon.com/LexandMatt for that.
Yep. I also want to give a little bit of love to WakandaCon. So if you're a huge fan of Black Panther and Black Excellence and just want to see a really cool convention with a lot of black folks having a good nerdy time, WakandaCon is happening here in Chicago, and it's going on July 26th to 28th at the Hyatt Regency by McCormick Place, which is pretty much the hotel attached to where C2E2 goes down. So check it out.
Cool. Yeah. Our Patreon, I'm thinking of doing something new and cool for our Patreon. I was discussing it with Matt earlier, and I'm planning on doing it. I think I'm going to announce it on the show right now, just so that I can be held accountable.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Which is doing mini reviews. I haven't decided if they're written or podcast. Probably just going to be a little podcast, just me reviewing Veronica Mars, the new season of that, which is coming to Hulu July 26th.
That sounds great. For those that are just joining us recently, Lex used to do the TV reviews for MightyInc.net, where she would review Flash and Arrow and different shows of that nature, Halt and Catch Fire. And they were very good reviews. They were written reviews. So if you want to delve into that world, you can go check that out. That's still up. But I'm excited to hear what you say about Veronica Mars. Yeah,
I just think it'd be fun, and it'd give our Patreon listeners a little something extra. I don't know if I'm going to actually write them out, though. I think I might just do a little one-shot podcast version of it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But it'll all be exclusive to Patreon. I know that. I know it'll be exclusive for there. So go sign up.
So last but not least, I guess we should talk about our Batman giveaway.
We skipped the graphic novel challenge again, though, bud.
Oh, no, we're going to do that. Hold on. Let's go back. Okay. So,
You were just going straight into shilling. I'm like, dude.
I know. I'm like, let's get all this done. Okay, graphic novel challenge. I'm going to go ahead and knock them on out. So, this week, I chose a book, and I didn't put this on the Instagram, which I should do. I'll go back and do that. But I chose a book from IDW that they sent me to take a look at, called Sons of Chaos. And it's this hardcover book. It's done in that widescreen style that Wildstorm used to do, where it's longer. It's more like horizontal than vertical. It's a huge tome. I mean, it's a hardcover, like I said. And it goes back to the Greek War for Independence. And it happens in the 1800s. It's basically just like a historically based comic.
That sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting, but if you are someone that doesn't like to see gritty depictions of war and things that weren't as socially acceptable nowadays that were socially acceptable back then, like taking advantage of women, that sort of thing, this probably is not the book for you. It's written and produced by Chris James. The art is by Ale Aragon. It's gritty. It's dark, and it's beautiful in a way too.
Okay, so you're reading that this week.
I read it already. It was hard to get through.
So that was last week's then?
Yeah, so this is me reviewing my pick from last week.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Because we didn't announce our picks last week on the show. We did them over Instagram, or at least you did, and I'm going to post a picture of this. So that was what I got done reading. So just full disclosure, thanks to IDW for sending me this copy to check out. like I said, if you're into like gritty stories, gritty period pieces, then this would be something to check out. If you're looking for something more light, superhero fare, this is not for you.
Yeah, light, I covered Light last week, which was I read Giant Days Volume 2.
Yeah.
Giant Days is really good. It's really fun and funny, and I like it a lot. I'm probably going to keep reading it. I don't think it's going to be my choice from this point forward, though, because I'm just going to read it at my leisurely pace.
I think we're at a point in the graphic novel challenge where I feel comfortable going back and revisiting series that I moved on from, just for the sake of variety. But for next week, I'm going to go ahead and read a graphic novel that I've heard a lot about. It's called Black Hammer. This is the first 6 issues in this trade, I believe, is volume 1, written by Jeff Lemire with art by Dean Ormston and Dave Stewart. It's kind of superhero fare, and it's kind of like, it's kind of dark too, but,
I love Jeff Lemire. He's great.
Yeah, he really is. So, I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm kind of going in blind, so I don't even know what the basic premise is, but folks have been telling me, yeah, you got to read this. You know, for knowing what type of books I like, they're like, you got to check this out. So
I'll
let you guys know what I think next week.
Yeah, I'm going to be reading not Giant Days Volume 3. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me explain. I am also reading Giant Days Volume 3, but that's not my pick this week. Okay. I was looking at my apps. I'm going to be reading Mouse Guard Volume 1, which is Fall 1152. I wanted to get that part right, because I just wrote Mouse Guard in our notes. And this is David Peterson. And I know about Mouse Guard. I've read a little bit of Mouse Guard in the past, but they just had the movie got unfortunately canceled with the Disney merger with Fox. And so I saw a lot of footage from it. I was like, oh shit, Mouse Guard is cool. So I'm going to read Mouse Guard this week. So that's what I'm doing. Cool.
Yeah, that's really neat. And I mean, to your other point of just like reading what you want to read for fun as well. I'm all about that. Definitely, because I'm also reading the Ghostbusters IDW series.
Right.
After we talked about it, because I'm like, I want to catch up on this, and it's really good.
Yeah, because I want to keep reading Giant Days, but I know there's a bunch of volumes of it, so I don't want to do that every week for the show, for the challenge. I want to change it up. Yeah. So I'm still reading Giant Days, but I'm not going to make it necessarily my pick. Maybe I'll pick more contained stories. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I am enjoying that. I highly recommend that. The first volume was not as good as the second volume to me, because the second volume was more continuous stories, which I like a little bit more. Okay. Well, that's cool. That's always good to know, like, you know, the sophomore effort is better than the freshman. That's really cool. Yeah. And the artwork is gorgeous. Like, and I think they change artists too, because I've noticed it change, but it keeps. It still stays in a very similar style where it's not too jarring, which I very much enjoy. Very cool. Yeah. All right. Okay, so now you can do the Batman giveaway, Shill.
Okay, the Batman giveaway. So, folks, we have the complete Batman the Animated Series restoration, high definition, Blu-ray quality, all that good stuff, bells and whistles. We've got that digital download code for you guys. So we've got one. So one of you lucky listeners will win this. You can, use this code, through, we'll give you the instructions on how to, access it and everything like that. But it's the entire series. And I don't have to tell you guys, Batman the Animated Series is a timeless classic. And with this restoration, they've done such great work on this. I have the physical set, and it is just phenomenal. So you're going to love it. Yeah. To enter this contest, what should we have them do? What should we have them do?
I was going to say, don't say anything, because I'm going to have it all posted on our social media. Okay. So it's going to be like an Instagram giveaway. You've seen those before, where it's like and share and, all of that stuff. Make sure you're following us, tag someone. It sounds confusing right now, but I'm going to post all of it either tomorrow or Thursday, depending on when we get the episode out. And then I think we're going to end it, and I will clarify in the post, I think we're going to end it Monday. But, cool. So basically you'll have, from when this episode comes out, the whole weekend. We'll make sure that it's posted a couple of times and give you enough time. Maybe we'll go to Tuesday just to make sure. So we're giving away the digital copy, and that's because, San Diego Comic-Con. It's all fun.
And honestly, it's just too good to share. It's too good not to share, rather. You guys gotta check it out. So, someone's gonna enjoy this, I guarantee.
Yes. Yeah. So it's really cool. Go on our social media to find out how to enter in that.
That's right. Keep an eye on Instagram, Lex and Matt. Twitter, Lex and Matt. Website, lexandmattpod.com.
If you go to lexandmattpod.com, in the menu, there's links to all of our social media. And there are links to our Patreon, which is the best way that you can support us. But you can also help us. If you don't have money for Patreon, you can do rate and review, subscribe, share us with your friends. Like, there's so many things that you can do that help us grow. And so, do what you can, guys. We love you, adventurers.
And just like Harry Styles, we sincerely appreciate everything that you guys do.
We do.
We've seen the numbers. You guys are telling your friends. You guys are telling your family. You're telling your youth ministers. And we appreciate that. We appreciate you listening, and we appreciate your friendship. So thank you.
You're assembling adventurers, and I love that. We definitely appreciate it. Keep an eye out for that giveaway. Hopefully we didn't get too heavy in this episode. We went back and forth a lot. I would say this one was a whiplash of an episode.
Yeah. Starring J.K. Simmons as some weird teacher.
Not my tempo.
Not my tempo. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. And as always, be excellent.
Wait, what? I don't know. I'm drunk.
You go. I did it last time.
All right. Be excellent to each other.
Bye. The end.
My favorite part about that was I was about to say, stay sexy and don't get murdered. Someone's going to catch that.
Don't tell me what to do.